So happy Sunday or whatever day you watch this live premiere to the Smoking on Queen Opp, the Obster. I think that you would like this if I put part one, two, and three together once it all has been broken down. Part three will go up today, and most likely I will put all of the videos together in a recap video, parts one, two, and three. I want to make that clear. I'll also make it clear when I do so, and it should be going up today. I also have plans to go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's up in the air. However, there is a lot of uh, back work that I need to do that I have not been up to date with. So we have a lot of work either way. Even if I don't do a live, there will be a lot of content for you to catch up with and to let it sink in to what's going on with Queen Opp and Dani. So you guys got to stay tuned to all of that. Make sure your notification bell's on with the option all. So when these videos go up, you guys are the first one to watch.
which is why they had to delete your song. Girl, ooh, you lucky. But you ran out of luck. Remember that. Remember that. I was also envious of Chelle not being a ran through, washed up like I was when they met and still is. And Chelle's sister did her a great disservice, lying about Chelle getting that. And listen, I'm not saying Chelle never had a sexual encounter with a man before, but what I do know, she wasn't a ran through, washed up smart was and is at the time that they met. I know that. I was envious of that too. That's why she had Chelle out there while I pocketed the money. I know she ruined herself. And speaking on envy, we all have experienced envy at some point in time. Every human being on earth. Anyone says they haven't is lying. Even if the only time that you experienced envy was in your childhood. I mean, come on. It's a natural human emotion, right? But envy, it holds more weight and gravity when the obstacle archetype carries it. Because again, they're already harboring repressed anger. And then couple that with envy, that's a dangerous cocktail. That's a lethal cocktail right there. The obstacle archetype's expression of envy can lead to extreme destructive outcomes, including a person getting deleted off the earth. Right? So when the obstacle archetype behavior and actions are motivated by envy, it hits way different than when other people experience it. It has a more sinister and malicious quality to it, right? And envy is one of those emotions that we hide as human beings. It's a hidden emotion because it's uncomfortable and it's unpleasant to feel and to carry it. And although it's normal to experience it as a human being, it's very uncomfortable and painful and unpleasant. And so when people experience envy, it becomes a secret. And it becomes a secret because to be envious in a lot of people's minds is to mean that they're inferior to another person. They don't measure up. There's something is inherently wrong with them that they don't have what this person has. So that's why they turn envy into a secret. That's why it becomes a secret, right? They feel inferior. They start feeling like they don't measure up. And then they feel like they don't have what it takes to acquire what they desire. Okay. And it's sad. It's sad because again, a lot of people lack self-awareness. But with the obsters, everything with them is more extreme, right? And we're humans and we're going to experience the whole gamut, the whole range of emotions. And envy also has its place. The fact that it's an emotion that we experience means that it's useful and it does have its place. Because what it does is it unveils all of our yearnings and what we truly desire in life, what we truly want to accomplish and possess. So it definitely has its place. You just have to know how to manage it and know what to do with it, right? And because many people lack an inner dialogue, uh, because they're on autopilot, and because they're constantly searching outside of themselves for the answers to their problems, and that could be due to early conditioning, day-to-day obligations and responsibilities of life. I mean, because people don't sit with themselves long enough to reflect on why they feel envious towards someone.
You know what's so sad about this situation is Tiffany, aka Michelle's cousin, is absolutely right. We're talking about someone who people stereotype as in, oh, she's pretty, she has all of this, she can get all the men, and Michelle is, fat, she's ugly. An ignorant person thinks a shallow mind like that, and you would never think in a million years that Queen Opp would be doing such a thing to a person like Michelle, because why would she be jealous? She allegedly has all these things going for herself. But little do we know is that in relationships or friendships or family and friends, you have to be mindful of protecting yourself, because you can get yourself caught up with someone who might on the outside look like a beautiful princess, but on the inside they're a demon, which makes them ugly, and they can destroy your life. And that's basically what Queen Opp was trying to do with Michelle. Like her cousin Tiffany said, to recap it, when you met Michelle years ago, did you see how healthy and thicker and longer hair was? Queen Opp messed hers up over the time of knowing Michelle, and was jealous of the fact that Michelle had this beautiful hair. Queen Op had to get a BBL or whatever she got, a butt injections, to have the voluptuous backside that Michelle has. You might say, well, maybe Michelle's wasn't so pleasant on the eyes. It didn't matter. Queen Op seen her in a different light, quiet as kept. And she was jealous of all those things. Like her having nice, healthy, beautiful hair and a voluptuous backside. You know what I'm saying? And she would do things like, "Oh, I'm gonna glue her her hair on, those little installments, and then I'm gonna rip it off so that she could damage her hair follicles." She was doing a lot of undermining, backhanded, disrespectful, trying to destroy and make Michelle crazy and miserable, like Queen Op was, and she was doing a good job, at it, and convincing, because she stayed in the picture. Michelle did for 15 years. She still would have been there, of course, if they never did the wellness check. Thank the Lord that God had enough. The Lord had enough of what Michelle was going through, and He took her out of the picture, because Michelle wasn't ready or strong enough, is what I believe, to do it herself. But it happened. But if it didn't happen, it's no telling today where Michelle would be. And even if she would even be here on this earth, she could have been unalive because of all of what she was going through behind closed doors.
A lot of people don't even know that their words, their actions, their behavior towards other people is motivated by envy. Because remember, it's one of those emotions that people hide and turn into a secret. So they're acting out in ways, they're saying things that are motivated by envy. They don't even realize it. They're not even cognizant and aware of it. This is why it's important to work on yourself, right? And again, because people won't dig into themselves or self-reflect, they just stew in it. And because they're dealing with envy as a secret, they don't check on it. So they allow it to simmer beneath the surface until they become triggered. And that's when envy boils over and seeps out. And again, with the opposite archetype, I mean, that could spell disaster or all the way down to somebody getting deleted off the earth. It's that serious. Back to Op. Op despises herself. Op despises herself. She made a lot of unwise choices that a lot of people have, a lot of women. Op has made a lot of unwise choices that caused her a great deal of damage, right? Chasing a bag and chasing notoriety. A lot of women, not just Op, have made unwise choices. The difference between Op and other women, Op and the Opsters, is that they don't deal with it. They don't take accountability. They just go on in life delusional as if they didn't make these choices that they made. And they keep sinking deeper into this hole of dysfunction, into this black hole of dysfunction and nothingness, all while telling themselves that this what is happening isn't. So that's what happened. Chasing the bag, chasing notoriety by any means necessary. She didn't even set any boundaries for herself. And she could delude herself all she want about how she that chick and chicks jealous of her and hating on her. And listen, I agree that she has haters. I see them. I see them. I see them. I see them on here. One day they are op hater, next day they are op lover. They coming in my comments every now and again, acting like they shell supporters, acting like they don't like op, but yet they searching for her and they search for all that. So she does have haters. Yes, she does. Again, and this is not the 1%. The 1%, I know that they genuinely called because they cared about Shell and they genuinely was calling the cops and making reports. A lot of people, the majority of people were calling because they were mad at I, not because they cared about Shell being violated. And that's just the truth. As inconvenient and uncomfortable as it is. Right? And again, so I agree that she has people hating on her, but the chicks that's hating on her are other filthy chicks that are at the bottom in life. Thorough women, women that deal with the truth, women that are unafraid to self reflect and make the necessary changes required to improve and enhance themselves and their lives, women that hold themselves accountable so that they can make wiser choices the next time. Women that stand on principles would never in a million years envy a chick like that and the chicks that support her. You be kidding me? I know this. I know this. I believe it's a survival mechanism. I'm telling herself, she that chick, this, that, and I believe it's a survival mechanism. She might be that chick in a world where other chicks are dirty and at the bottom and vermin and beating up and supporting a violation of mental challenge.
I think in Queen Ops life, there's been a lot of disappointment because I can't imagine somebody putting themselves in this kind of situation that Queen Op and Danny's in. I think that also that Queen Op knows this is the last of the rope, and her time is limited. We all know that allegedly it's being said that Danny is looking at time, and she's also was supposed to be doing anger management, which I don't understand why Queen Op was not in that equation or conversation when it was brought up that Danny had to do anger management because she has been doing this to Michelle for over a decade. But see, when a person is a narcissist and they're used to getting people that they can control because they might be a little bit delayed, like Michelle and Danny are, they have a tendency of getting away with the most. And I really feel like this is what's happening in this case. But at the same time, answering your question for the ones that said, well, what do you mean Queen Op is in hiding? What do you call someone who disappears from social media? She's not on here trolling, planting seeds, starting storylines. She's actually trying to what to me is not even in her personality, I guess, low key play like she's the mother of the year and being a good mom and having this family behind the closed doors or when the cameras are off with Dani, not knowing Dani allegedly is looking at more time than probably Queen Opp because of course, let's make common sense of it. Michelle obviously threw Dani out under the bus more so than Michelle. I mean than Queen Opp. Michelle did. Um she's got to be in hiding. We don't see her. She's not trying to be found. She's very scared, trust and believe. I'm quite sure when she does go out in those streets, she doesn't know who's from that town that watches her, that also do not care for what she has done to Michelle, or how she has treated her supporters, playing in their face as well. And what would you think that a person like Queen Op would be doing with all of these strikes against her? Let's make it make sense.
People and all that. Maybe over there, but you know what's up for real. She couldn't hang in the room with thorough people. The women that I just described, she wouldn't be able to hang in the room with them. So I knows that she sabotaged her life. She ruined her life. And that's why she targeted Shell, so she could use her as a punching bag and project all of her ways and unwise choices onto her. She used Shell, she targeted Shell, used her as a punching bag because she know that's how she feel about herself. She feel like she need her repeatedly. She feel like she need to be from sun up to sundown. I'm not convinced by the performances that I and the opposites put on. I can see through the smoke and mirrors. I'm a woman. I can see through and understand other women and how they move and what's really going on beneath the surface, beneath what we see with our eyes. I know how to look past all of that. And why? Because again, I chose to save myself and work on myself. So I had to start looking at what I was doing in life, the choices I was making, where it could lead to if I didn't change. That's how I know. No, I can't accept that her choices, not anyone else's, is the reason why she blew any opportunities at real success without having to come up and make a name for herself off of violating and embarrassing a mentally special needs person. I know she deserves worse treatment than Shell got. She know that. Not too long ago, she was on here talking about, well, the other app, and then the T channel shared it. On here talking about she not okay. And she hasn't been okay for a very long time. Way before Shell came along, she wasn't okay. And even now, after Shell, still not okay. Still not okay. And now she's trying to sweep, the queen attribute that she gave herself. Now she's trying to sweep that under the rug and emerge as sincerely Sierra. Enemy up. I just sincerely feel you're sincerely delusional about how life works. You don't get to destroy another person's life and leave all trash in your baggage and don't clean up after yourself. And you think it's just going to go away. Meanwhile, wherever you go, there's a stench. There's a foul stench wherever you go. Even after you leave, there's a stench. Please, get out of here. It's just wild what's going on, man. It's just wild. Like my sister said on Facebook, she shared a long comment and then I took a screenshot and made it a post. She said she has never in her life, and she my age, seen women. She said she don't even want to call them women. She got to call them females. She said they don't even deserve to be called women. She said she has never in her life seen chicks that are basically what they're doing is protesting their right to see a mentally challenged person abused and violated. That's what they're doing. And see, again, like I said, an obstacle archetype, because they lack self awareness, they either have a low to non existent level of self awareness. They can't even see that this is what they're doing. They can't see when they're embarrassing themselves. Showed up in my comments that Miles Love said she had to take a screenshot of it and share it as a teaching moment. Case studies. Man, you case studies. Case studies. We can have a whole academic seminars and how y'all behave and carry on in life. Case studies. Out of here. That's what she said. She said she has never in her life seen any.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just growing up, I can only speak for my own kind. I'm not trying to say it doesn't happen in all cultures, but it's really sad that it happens all too often in the African American culture, how we treat people. I mean, but then when you're someone who just wakes up and you say, this is how I'm going to treat this person because they're a little bit delayed, like Queen Opp did, that's even more sickening. When you plan, this is calculated to do this to someone who has ultimately hasn't done anything to you. You just are not happy with oneself, so you're just taking it out on that person. It's really really sad, very unfortunate, and I'm just so glad that someone beside other commentators and myself are speaking up about this, because this could be really stressful content to have to bring to the public, because there are a lot of undercover and then ones that are not undercover with it that are Queen Op supporters, and they can attack. And it's just really glad. I'm just really glad there's a union between us. That we're gonna stick to our guns, and we're gonna say this is not okay what happened to Michelle, and let's get the justice that Michelle needs for all the years, even beside when Dani came into the picture, of what she had to endure. This woman will have to go to counseling for a lot of her life, maybe the rest of her life. She might not be going, some people don't. It happens all too often in the black community that people don't think things are wrong with them, or they think that they're crazy if they go talk to someone or take medication to control, some of their mental issues that they have, even more so because of what they went through for long periods of time with a partner or a friend or family member or an associate. But it's going to take a long process for Michelle to heal the way she needs to heal and feel like it's time to start loving myself, um and move on, and perhaps start her own family, start her own life, and think for herself. It's going to take a long time to reprogram her. She's been brainwashed and reprogrammed mentally, and that's going to take some time. But I'm going to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. It doesn't matter if Queen Op is in the picture or not on social media. We are commentators. Well, some of us are. There are things we can pull from Lord knows when and do commentary about it. It's things that you probably didn't peep, or signs that were there that you didn't peep long ago, so that it makes it all make sense.